Hi everyone. I wanted to show you a picture of the old computer. This is the rear view of it, and you can see how badly rusted it is. It's just in terrible shape. The new computer is about twice, maybe 2.5 times as thick, and obviously looks brand new. I didn't get a picture of the back of that one before I put it in, but just wanted to give you a chance to see it. Hey guys, so got a computer update on the Jeep. I just received it and I've already got it installed. Just a few simple bolts here. I did the frame, you may see, looks freshly painted. It is. I had a lot of rust on it, so I wire wheeled it and even used a flap disc on some of it and got it all cleaned up. Put several coats of just a matte black paint that I had laying around on it. And I got everything mounted up, and the computer itself, here's the back of the old one, actually has 3 screws that hold it to the bracket. So got that mounted up, and I saw on another video on YouTube a guy with, I think it was an '07 maybe, Grand Cherokee, and it had a separate ground wire that went to the back of one of these screws. So you can see it down in there. That screw right there, I just made up just a simple wire and ran it up to this ground point right here. This is the ground strap that goes towards the back of the engine block there. I just went ahead and made that up and put it in between the head of the screw and the computer. It certainly isn't going to hurt anything to have that extra ground there. So I've got that put in as a small little change. But otherwise, just bolted it in. These old plastic retainers, they're just shot. So I just ended up using some wire ties to hold everything in. But I've got the computer cables plugged in. I've got the coolant overflow tank hooked up. Once again, batteries completely in. So we're to the point where it's crank up time, and I hope it's going to crank right up. The one thing I don't have is I don't have the air filter on, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, next step is to go ahead and try to do the crank and see what happens. We're going to cross our fingers that everything's going to start. So stay tuned, and I'll be back in just a minute to give that a shot. All right, guys. So picking up where I left off, gonna try to crank up the car here. So I got my key. So put the key in and get dash lights, but nothing happens. This is what happens when I watch me down here. So rotate the key, and you see it doesn't move very far, and I get a flashing check engine light that shows up on the dash. That's all that happens. Now the electrics work over here. I am having a problem with my door electrics not working. I've got a suspicion that there is a common issue with broken wires in the boot here. So, and that's really the first time I've tried to check this. So I'm gonna, at some point I will pull that boot off and check the wiring. But on this particular issue, I wasn't sure what was going on. So I actually tried this earlier and couldn't get it to crank. So it's left in the run position right now. What I'm going to do is come over here, and I turn on a light here. And if you've never seen one of these, I've got a power probe. This actually belongs to my friend Lawson. So I'm going to plug this in to my battery. So this is powered up. And if you've never seen a power probe, basically what this will do is I can, from the tip, I can measure things. So that's ground, power, and it shows me the voltage. And then I can also go, and using the button on here, I can apply ground or I can apply voltage from the tip. So I did some research on YouTube, and what I found was the possibility that the ignition cylinder has gone bad. So down here, see if you can see. So let me see if I can get the camera just right here. So what I've got is, this is the small connector on the starter relay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push forward on my power probe, which applies 12 volts, and watch what happens. So you can see the engine cranks right up. Turn the key off, engine stops. So what appears to be happening is I believe that there's something wrong with the cylinder. Well, I started doing some research, and turns out the way that these Jeeps work, and I guess most cars, I've never encountered this, but the way that this works is the key cylinder has a pin in it, and it turns an actuator. Excuse me. That actuator pin is what actually tells the system to send the 12 volts over to the starter solenoid, which is what I just mirrored using my power probe. Now, you can also, another way around this, if you don't have a power probe, is our starter relay is this one right here. So now, of course, it's always possible that this relay is bad. To tell you the truth, whoops, so I dropped my phone. I actually did not check the starter relay. I should have done that by swapping it with like the fuel pump here. But just because of the tension or really the lack thereof on the key when you turn it, I'm about 99% certain that that's the bad part. Now, what you can do is you can actually pull this relay out, and the two pins that would normally be shorted by the relay, you could short that out. I just bypassed the whole thing going straight to the starter. That's what I actually saw on a video first. So anyway, it does show the car runs, which is awesome news. Obviously, I need to get the air filter put back on, and I had it left off for some other things because I'm going to be changing out the radiator because I know I have a radiator leak, hoses and belts and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to leave it off for the time being. But just the fact that I'm able to get the engine to crank is it's worth $1 million to me. That is so awesome. So I'm very, very glad at that. I've got to get it off my stands so I can actually be sure that the transmission's working okay. One of the receipts that was in the glove box when I bought it was for a rebuilt transmission a couple of years ago. So I actually feel really good about that. But the fact that I'm able to get it to crank up using the power probe by bypassing things is the number one key there. And my wife actually ran to the store. I bought a replacement actuator pin off of advancedauto.com for my local Advanced Auto Parts. I'll be removing the steering column, and I'll check back in with you once I've got the part, and we'll take a look and see what the result is. All right, guys, so I've got the steering column disassembled here. There is a cover that goes over the top, and it's held in, here it is right here. The cover is held in by two T25s. This is the top cover right here. So that comes off with two T25s. The cover that goes here and here, which are laying right here, these go on. There's a single Phillips head that holds that on. In order to get where I need to get is I need to remove this device here. This is actually the electronics that sends the signal to the starter. And then inside here, I'll get a picture after I get it taken apart. Inside of here, this is where we are, where the key cylinder engages, and the part that I need to replace is actually up inside here. So I also had to remove the knee pad that's right here. Just right here, there's one Phillips head screw on the side. There's two Phillips, one here and one over here. And then there's two 10 millimeters, one that goes down here and one over here, and then it just pulls forward. So I'm in the process of removing that. And then these bolts right here, these screws, these are T25 security, T10 security. So I know there's one here. I believe I don't know, I think it's here, and I think there's another one. I've still got to pull that out, and also remove the key cylinder. And to remove the key cylinder, after this comes off, this is also right here, if you can see it. This is also, I believe, that T10 security. So this has to come off, and then from here, the cylinder will come out, and then this device will come off, and you can actually see just right in there, you see that white plastic. That's the device that we have to get to replace, that I'm pretty sure is broken on this side. So anyway, that's coming out. This connector, by the way, this actually goes to the skim unit, which is the Sentry key immobilizer. And I did replace the computer, as I mentioned. So one of the things that you can do, these Jeeps use a transponder key. And I'm not real worried about this car being stolen. But what I've done is, to prevent issues, when you install a brand new computer, or a refurbished computer, it doesn't have the link to the skim unit yet. So by removing it, it will ignore it. Now what happens is, there is a key light that'll show up on the dash and just come on and stay on. You may have seen it in the previous video. It's up here in this corner over here. While I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the dash out. I'm gonna pull that bulb out. Won't be a problem. So anyway, that's where we stand. Stay tuned for more, and we'll keep trucking on this replacement here. Hey guys, just to close out this video, I wanted to show you a couple of photos of the broken part. Sure enough, this was the problem, and it did fix it. I got this for about $40-something with a discount code at Advance Auto, but I'll put a link in the description to the part online where you can buy it there. But this definitely caused the problem. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.